Mr. Sareen, as far as China is concerned, it's something that the US wants to really focus on because it's a rising power in the region. But India has made it stand quite clear that our relationship with China is independent. Do you see the fact that SM Krishna is at the moment in Beijing also playing an important part in India having put its foot down on its engagement with China being independent of what the US feels and thinks?
So I think India will retain a degree of strategic autonomy, but that does not mean that to the extent that we have problems with the Chinese and we are able to strike some kind of an alliances with other countries along China's rim and of course the United States, which is the great elephant in the room. I see no reason why India would be averse to doing that. After all, if China can counterbalance India by propping up a country like Pakistan, then India can certainly counterbalance China by striking alliances with the Americans. That does not mean that we are likely to enter into a kind of a confrontationist mood with the Chinese. But nevertheless, this kind of counterbalancing and balancing of power games is par for the course as far as diplomacy is concerned. The Chinese in their own way give us pinpricks. For example, the advisory which was issued on the eve of Mr. Krishna's visit to Beijing, that really does not go down very well with us. So the Chinese continue to do what they have to do. We will do what we have to do. And the hope is that, the two sides can strike a degree of balance in their relationship. We have a lot to gain from each other through cooperation. And it is also important to make sure that the other side does not get any wrong ideas about our capabilities.
All right, Sushant Sareen, then what kind of alliance do you foresee in the future between the between US and India as far as countering China is concerned?
I think the alliance will be more in terms of limiting China's ability to take unilateral action in the region and to pick and choose its adversaries and finish them off one by one. I think that is the kind of framework which is in the process. Because the Japanese, the Australians, many of the other countries along China's rim are increasingly wary of China's growing assertiveness, a degree of bullying which the Chinese have been doing, whether it be Philippines, the Indonesians have problems, the Vietnamese have problems, the entire South China Sea lanes, freedom of movement of the sea lanes, all that is coming up because of the Chinese assertiveness. And I think there is this conscious move towards developing a framework whereby the Chinese can't push anybody around too much. That does not mean that, there is an encirclement of China or there is some kind of a massive counter-alliance against China. But nevertheless, it means that a kind of a counterbalancing force is being put in place so that, relations remain on an even keel and things don't spiral out of control.